Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
It's the elephant in the room. I'm just like, everybody knows this is coming, so might as well just address it right now. It's just the lack of coverage for the other 28, soon to be 29 teams in the league just because of one man, and it's Messi. I mean, yeah, sure, he's the greatest of all time. We're probably never going to see a player at the stature of like him ever again in our lifetimes. I mean, just the fact that he chose us over Saudi Arabia is massive because everybody was going to Saudi that summer, and he decided to come over to MLS in Miami in the United States, and just like the way of life in Southern Florida over Saudi Arabia is just a whole lot better. And honestly, it's a great opportunity for the league, but I just feel like they're squandering it so badly in the way that you just cover one team, and it's not fair to the other 28 teams that have been in the league for, quite frankly, a lot longer than Inter Miami. And just because they have one player, I get it, he's the greatest of all time, but still, it's like you got to show love to the other teams in the league. You can't just talk about Messi and just be on his dick 24/7 because at some point people are just going to get annoyed at it and they're just going to rebel against it, and it's already happening, and everybody's like hysterical over what happened last night. I mean, how do you build a super team and not make it out of the first round of the playoffs is beyond me. So, I mean, hey, that's the number one. It's the elephant in the room, and I just think marketing and like the storytelling could be a lot better than just the headlines. And the NFL does it to like a perfect, like they just perfectly market themselves and like all the headlines and stuff like that. I mean, also the NBA and Major League Baseball as well. They just do so much better of a job in marketing than MLS. And with MLS, with the younger demographic, they have such a massive advantage with it. They need to take advantage of it.
No, yeah, you say it a lot, and I think you talk about that. Welcome to whatever that Messi docuseries that they did on Apple TV, which
you can't even watch it on season pass. You have to pay like an extra $15 a month to watch it.
That's literally, you need Apple TV you need Apple so that's another fumble right there by MLS. Like, why am I spending this much? Now I got to spend another $15 just to get that. But I think also kind of the thing, like the giant fuck you, if you will, is the fact that you clearly have the resources to do a docuseries on Inter Miami's stupid Leagues Cup run. But you can't do that. You can't even do that for like a preseason. You can't do like a little preseason follow like the teams as they go through whatever preseason,
like a Hard Knocks of MLS.
Yeah. You can't do that, and it's like clearly you have the resources. Not everybody needs to speak English. You can have the little I mean, you did it for Messi. You can do it for everybody else as well. So yeah, I think that you mentioned it. So right on it. So Kelcey, you have anything to say about that?
I agree. So to give you a background here, I grew up watching Real Salt Lake in the early days of Real Salt Lake. So Eddie Pope style, Freddie Adu, these guys with Real Salt Lake. So when Freddie Adu was there, obviously Freddie Adu got all the love in the world. Similar to what we're seeing with Messi, not obviously on the same global scheme. And this happens like in waves. You go to the years of the LA Galaxy bringing in Beckham, and that whole wave. And then you go into, the New York Red Bulls bringing in Thierry Henry, that type of wave. Like, it happens so much where the MLS crowd gets so focused on one team. It's ridiculous. It's so frustrating. There are teams that are out here dominating week in and week out with no big name player, and they get overlooked. People don't pay attention. Columbus Crew won the MLS Cup last year, and nobody cares. Nobody knew about this team except for people around Columbus, the diehards from the original six type of diehards. Like, it's frustrating. If you want to grow the league, yeah, I know you got to put a superstar in front of it, but it's so. I think Davi hits the nail on the head here. There's so much more you can do with this. Hector, you said there's so many opportunities for like a Hard Knocks situation here where you can have more of a look at teams. Why not? Like, the lifestyle of an MLS player is so much more difficult than it is for any other soccer player. Yeah, they
They've
used
done
to
it
do it all
before.
the time. They did it like from 2010 to 2015. They used
MLS
to do stuff.
YouTube was like, oh, let's follow the day of a player before their
Yeah.
match.
The
Like,
Kansas City, when Sporting KC was a hot topic, and Graham Zusi and Matt Beasler were,
I
the
think it was
featured
MLS
lead.
Insider, the name of the series, right? And they just
yeah,
Yeah,
continued. They just discontinued it all of a
their
sudden.
YouTube channel was very like
and popular.
content. Like, and now it's just highlights. That's all it is now. It's just highlights. Like, I mean, Kalen Carr had like his little, I don't know what the travel series, I guess you could say he had, like where he was talking about soccer in different,
Yeah,
not even just MLS cities. Like he even covered Missouri,
Yeah.
in one. And it's like, why can't this be back on YouTube? But two, like, if you can do it, why don't you do it on Apple TV? Like things like that. And I mean, I think MLS teams as well need to do better as far as like kind of also improving on their viewership. Like I know the Dynamo used to do this thing called The Slice, was kind of like a preseason docu-series kind of thing that they were doing. I don't know if NYCFC did anything similar to that, but it was kind of just getting to know the players, know the names behind, getting to know the player that's, that you're probably going to hope to buy a jersey of, instead of us just finding out things of certain players, like, thanks to Eli Lesser, everybody knows who Griffin Dorsey is, kind of thing. And so I think yeah, MLS needs to do better. But Davi, what would you say is your solution to that problem?
just get like individual teams to cover the different teams and whatnot, and make another like MLS Insider or something like that, and just to go in depth in like different teams and like see how the all teams operate around the league and how they maneuver the salary cap, how they go about trading players and stuff like that. I mean, just a hard knocks version of MLS would do wonders for like the league, and just put it on season pass or put it on like Apple TV or YouTube or something like that, and it like you'll probably see a small growth of casual people coming over to tune in and it's like, oh, what's this? It's like a hard knocks version. It's a soccer hard knocks essentially. So I mean, just why not? It's like just shoot darts. Like the worst thing that can happen is you miss, but at least you're
Mhm.
attempting to like trying to market it because the marketing's been poor for essentially the entire existence of Major League Soccer. So that's like the main priority and like the main thing that I hear with like fans. It's like just the marketing is just not up there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what you said is actually, I think you MLS needs to have like some sort of initiative where, you know, I mean, they got to do their part and also market the league better, but put pressure on the teams, man. Like, you know, I think MLS needs to hard more. Like Houston Dynamo, for example, man. Like MLS should be watching those games and seeing how empty that stadium looks and just be like, what the fuck, Siegel, what the fuck are you not doing? And
Yeah.
push on them. Try like a billboard isn't going to be the only solution. Like you need to find ways to market to the team. Whether you have to do some guerrilla marketing, you have to find something to or clearly your marketing team is just not doing enough. And so I think that yeah, MLS needs to do a lot more pressure. So I agree with
Yeah,
Davi on that one.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like with NYCFC, why not create a series like a Hard Knock series on NYCFC getting their stadium and how that came about? Because I know the stadium situation for us is horrible, but trust me, guys, in a couple seasons we're gonna have it ready. It's gonna be all done in a couple seasons, so all the baseball jokes can stop. So make as many as you can while it lasts, and well, it's
I
gonna be
mean,
done.
I've seen the renderings for that stadium. That stadium's going to be beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I
Uh,
mean, but the thing is, like, with the marketing with this club, like, I've seen a couple of marketing like posters on like the subways in New York City, but I mean, they stay up for what about 2 3 days, and then the next like after that they're gone. Like the next time, like if you don't go to the city a lot, like I do because I live in the suburbs, and I quite frankly have no business to do in New York City. If you're there like a tourist, like you might see the poster one day, but like the next day it's going to be gone.
mhm.
So you need to do better than it's just a billboard or a poster like on a subway station. Like you gotta do more than that because it's just not going to cut it.
Yeah,
And well, let's say there's teams that you can tell do this well. Look at the Cascadia region. You have two teams right there in Portland and Seattle that do it fantastic. job of kind of getting an initiative around their local team, but at the same time, people know about the Cascadia rivalry now because of the support you see in the stands. So it's like those two teams. But then, you look up north a little bit further, Toronto is a major metropolitan area, and they can barely keep their team afloat. And it's embarrassing if you're in the MLS. And then, just some of the teams do well, some of the teams don't. And we have these mass media markets that are top 20, top 30 in the world that have MLS teams in it, and they don't take advantage of it. That's embarrassing. That's just an embarrassing feature of the MLS, that they don't want to spend the money that they make from these major sponsor deals on actually putting the revenue into building the league further. They're just like, Doug, keep giving us money. We'll make it work. That's not how we're going to grow the game.
Exactly, man. So I think Davi hits it with a really good start to it. I think the marketing in MLS and the MLS teams need to be so much better, especially now where like social media and content creation is probably at its all-time high right now. It's going to get higher probably in the future, but I mean, especially where now everything's about content creation, and and they're still like ways behind. I mean, more so than baseball, but I will still say like still ways behind than what the NFL's doing and the NBA. I think NBA, I would say
decades behind the NBA.
Social media wise, NBA is like probably more up there than any other leagues in the US. But